Welcome back to the Dog Pound. I'm Chris.
And I'm Nikki.
And we are here for a very grateful and turkey-giving episode. I didn't think of a third word.
Turkey giving. I don't like turkey, though. I like ham. I've heard that you make a killer mac and cheese, though.
I do make a killer mac and cheese. I need to bring it in for first period. We filmed the podcast during first period, by the way, for all of our listeners. Do you want mac and cheese at 8:30 in the morning?
Sure.
There's no time. There's no wrong time for mac and cheese.
Is it cold? Are you going to heat it up?
No, I'm going to heat it. I'll cook it. I'll wake up early and make it.
But is it going to be warm?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll be warm.
Cold mac and cheese is sad.
It'll be warm.
That's why I don't like mac and cheese like salad.
I'm going to ask you a question here, and anybody can answer. Is mac and cheese a side or a dinner? Like, is it the dish or is it the side?
Depends how sad I'm feeling.
That's real. That's really real.
If it's like...
Enough about sadness, Chris.
Okay.
Let's be thankful. This is a month of thankfulness.
Yeah.
What are you thankful for?
I'd have to say I'm thankful for all the experiences I've had in high school. I feel like getting myself involved in everything possible. I've had a very rare opportunity to be a part of a lot of different groups, and I've spent a lot of time with them, and I feel like I'm really grateful to have the connections I've made in those experiences.
That's very sweet.
I know.
That is really sweet. I think I'm thankful for the same thing. I'm really thankful that I got to go here and get all the experiences I've had and really find niches and interests that I'm really into, and becoming an adult through these 4 years. And I'm now ready to move on to my adult path. And I'm glad that I got to do my teenage years here at Central.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not grateful for being an adult. I had to pay taxes the past year. That was an experience. But I'm grateful that I got to grow up here. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I think we're both thankful for? Apply to College Day.
Apply to College Day.
That was November 1st. We boot applied to college this month. Let's go.
Woo.
We both applied to KSU. Let's go Owls.
Hoot hoot.
Hoot hoot.
I almost got through applying to Georgia State.
I applied to Georgia State yesterday. So I applied to Georgia State, Kennesaw, and SCAD. And UNG is my last one.
I think I have left to apply to. I have UGA. I've been putting off that essay. I don't like essay. And then Emory.
You're doing for Emory?
Yeah, I thought it'd be a fun reach school to go to.
They have one of the best food courts ever.
So does KSU. Top 5 in the country.
Okay. We wouldn't have been able to apply to college without the resources given by Apply to College Day, November 1st, in the College and Career Center, in the Media Center. Next year, it will also be November 1st for rising seniors. So make sure that you keep an eye out for your Apply to College Day and any colleges coming to the College and Career Center.
I know it seems tacky, but it's honestly
it's honestly one of the best resources at our school.
I didn't realize. I thought it was just going to be we're just going to be applying to colleges. No,
no.
The college representatives, they're actually super cool people. They'll tell you all the hidden niche things you can. They told me this website I can go to get a bunch of free scholarships. So if you're left-handed, you get $500.
Yep,
just money, and they're all the chill people. They help you. So,
in our College and Career Center. They have helped me out so much in the senior year with trying to figure out everything. It genuinely is one of the best resources. Speaking of resources at our school, we had Miss Cole for an interview today to talk about just gratefulness in the C House. And this episode's a lot different from last month's episode. Last month's episode was a little bit of a flashback. This episode is more of an emotional conversation. I got emotional during it.
Definitely. It was a very touching interview.
And going into that interview, here is Miss Cole with Gratefulness at the Sea House.
I'm Miss Cole. I'm your wellness coach and your community school coordinator.
And we are having you on the podcast for the month of November to talk about some of the importance of being grateful and the importance of giving back to the community, especially in the month of November, which is a very important month for being grateful and giving back to your community. And there's been a lot happening at the school in the 4 years that I've been here that has given a lot to students. One of the biggest things is in this month or is it this month or next month, is the free Thriftaganza. That happens a couple times.
That's at the beginning of December. So we start collecting now, which that event is really based around eliminating the barriers and stigma of getting help and asking for help.
Yeah.
So if everybody can thrift for free, might I add, then it's just a way for all of us to just join as a community to get our needs met. Which I think is phenomenal. And we've had great turnouts the past couple of years that we've done it. So I really hope that this continues to be a tradition, in the C House, because I really feel like it brings us together. It's fun. And you can get a new coat, hoodie, or jacket.
And in the years that I've seen it happen, always a big turnout. A lot of people come, and a lot of people donate.
Yes.
There's a lot of great things. I got one of my favorite jackets from this place. It's a really good thing to have in the C House. And yeah, do you want to say anything, Chris?
A surprising amount of people participate in it. Like that's like the most like I don't know, not jarring, but like the most surprising thing I find is that a lot of people actually do donate, like you said, and a lot of people go to it and like try to get free stuff out of it. And I think it's really cool that like you go in and, like you said, we kind of eliminate that stigma of asking for help, because we're all just students trying to get a cool free coat.
Right. And I think that everybody at some point needs help. Whether we're great at asking for it or receiving it, that's a whole nother conversation. And I'm extremely grateful for our community that drive up and drop off donations. So like people I've never even seen before or don't even know that they're dropping off because they think that this is a great event for our students. Also, the parent volunteers that help me set up, and all of the different students that come and set up and clean up. And, when the event is over, we usually give things to East Forsyth for their coat drive. And then we also give back to the place of Forsyth. So it's kind of full circle. And that having an attitude of gratitude, which I think is really important for a variety of reasons. 'Tis the season, to do that. And I think the more that we cultivate gratitude and the more that we do that in our daily lives, I think, you would find out that your life is a little bit easier. Because generosity calms an anxious heart. I heard that from a friend of mine a while back, and I really have to remind myself about that as to the why. Why are we doing what we're doing? And at the end of the day, it's just to help and to serve.
Yeah. You kind of answered my next question a bit, but the free Thriftaganza, the place, Apply to College Day, all of these big things that are happening right now in giving back to the central community, I guess. Has it ever shocked you, the turnout? Because all of when I remember when the place opened up, it was even today, it's lines outside the doors. People really reacted to it. People really reacted to the thrifting event, and just Apply to College Day that happened recently. It was a big turnout. Has it ever shocked you how much the school gets together to use these services?
I don't know if shock would be the word. I think it's more of the intention behind creating all of these spaces and these events. No, I think whoever is doing that is always a being of service, and how can we help? So when you have that intention and that's what you set out to do, the best thing you can do is visualize it. That's the way it's going to be. So it's really, it fills my heart, and it has brought me to tears actually when we did that first thrifting event, is to see the sheer joy. It was just amazing to see how happy students were. And whether that was getting something for themselves, there was a lot of teenage boys that came through that didn't want anything for themselves, but they were like, I need to get something for my little sister or my little brother, or my mom's birthday's coming up and I would really like to get her something nice. That's what this is about.
That's so sweet.
Because it's a ripple effect. It really is. And I don't think a lot of us take the time to notice that. Because we all are very busy and hurried around, and especially at the holiday season, it's go, go, go. I feel like from October to January, it's just a blur.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to take that time and to just notice around you. And you never really know the effect that you're going to have on somebody else by being kind.
Yeah. Speaking of effect on people and being kind, I know a lot about what you do with the Central. Do you know if this has had any effect on the other schools? Because you mentioned that you were giving coats to East, but have you noticed, like, just in the general Forsyth school community, more importance on gratefulness and these resources for students?
Yes. I would say that imitation is the best form of flattery.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the C House kind of leads that in a lot of different ways. I know that we were the first high school chapter of Helping Hands in Hunger, which, we're collecting or rescuing items out of the lunchroom to give back. And I think that that's something I would really like to bring to the forefront of people's awareness, is that I would really appreciate it if you would put your apples, juice, milk, things like that in those collection bins versus going in the trash.
Yeah.
But we started that in October of 21, and then North has followed, East is on board. I've had a couple of the other high schools inquire about that. So there's that. I know that the thrifting has been looked at, and that's really up the game since we started that. And then I know that East is now looking at building, they have a mindfulness room now, and they are also working on having a pantry, because we've had our Bulldog Giving Center since 2008.
Yeah.
And that got fully renovated over this past summer by sheer magic and generosity. And, people just showing up because it's a good cause, and, grants, getting grants that have been written, and like just a variety of things have fallen into place for us to be able to do that. So hopefully as we progress with that, there'll be more and more ways to assist. We've done Boxes of Love with families, for over 10 years now. And currently we're sending home Boxes of Love. The teacher volunteers deliver those boxes to our families on Fridays, and we have 24 that we're serving right now.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's so cool.
That's like, I'm being so serious. It was like, that warmed my heart so much, is that these services are available at our school and we are actively affecting the community.
And I really don't think that, I don't know if a lot of students are really aware of all the different things that we have to offer and all the different things that we're doing. I hope that as things progress, that people will really start to pay attention to that and really look back. If you graduated, I've had students come back and go, I really never knew how great we had it at Central. There's a lot of good stuff that happened here.
I was going to bring up that, kind of like what you said, not many students either know that we have these huge things that we do for the community, or even just for the students, or I don't think they quite understand the impact it has. I know a lot of people, they see the thrifting. It's oh, I can go thrifting for a new jacket. But I don't think they really understand. It's it's a big part of the community. Like you said, we have people coming in that aren't even from the school. They're just random people that are hey, I wanted to donate. And I feel that's so cool that I don't feel a lot of students realize how much these small things, or I guess what they deem as small, are actually having these huge impacts.
Right. And I've had numerous phone calls from people in the community will call and ask and say, I have these Dress for Success items. When we did Dress for Success in February, and it was a really sweet lady, and her husband had passed, and she was having a really hard time getting rid of his clothes.
Yeah.
Makes me a little teary.
Take your time. Take your time.
She said, I read the article in the paper, and she said, I knew that's where I needed to give his clothes to.
That's so sweet.
I'm getting a little teary.
I'm getting a little teary.
This is a somber episode.
It's a whole we come full circle here.
Oh yeah, you just
this is so
you just never know, and that's
I hope whoever got those clothes for donation, I hope they truly succeeded in that Dress for Success day.
I know that some of the things that are given out in the dresses, like the jackets, the Dress for Success thrifting events, they go to people that use them. I am an example. I got a leather jacket last year, and I've worn it to death. It's already slowly falling apart.
Wait, that's the jacket you wear every day?
It's one of them. Yeah.
It's from the Dress for Success?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I got it for free, and I'm just like, I use it all the time. It's my dad uses it sometimes. Like, I got a pair of pants, and I use those for interviews and for jobs because I've struggled so much getting clothes for business casual, like clothes that I like that work for business casual. And when that was happening, I found a pair of pants that I like, and I use those for interviews. And it's one of those things where it's like the clothes that are being donated go to like people that will use them. And that's something I really, really like seeing.
Well, and that same beautiful lady, she said, I've told my son, I've told her grown children, that this is where we want to donate now, because it is coming full circle, and you never know who you're going to help. Versus, she just didn't feel comfortable about donating at some of the local places or the big anchor donation places. She felt like that's what she was supposed to do, and she felt so good about donating to us. So it really is just. It is just a circle. Like, it's magical.
Kind of ending it off here and kind of encapsulating what this whole segment's been about. What does, I guess, wellness and gratefulness in Central mean to you? And what does it mean? I guess I don't know how to describe it, but like the importance of being grateful.
Yeah.
Treating yourself well, and being in a good mental health space and giving back to the community. What does that mean to you at Central?
I think that's a daily practice.
Yeah.
I think slowing down, taking those 5 deep breaths, there's a reason why we ask you guys or invite you to do that. And that's for everybody on campus. But slowing down to notice, it can be really hard to be grateful. Yeah. Because we get so caught up in our own stuff. But we all have things that we can be grateful for. I mean, you can be grateful for your cup of coffee in the morning. Yeah. You can be grateful that you got an hour extra sleep last night, although it's a little struggle to adjust to the new time. But, it's a practice, and it's not something that you master. The power is in the practice. Yeah. So slowing down and noticing, what's something I can be grateful for. You can be grateful for your jacket that you got. Yeah. I can be grateful for the fact that you two wanted to sit down and have this discussion. Like, this will be the highlight of my day.
We're grateful for you coming down and being on the podcast.
Yeah. Like, so it's the little things. Like, it's not these giant, earth-shattering moments. It's the moment to moment. And I think connecting with yourself and having that quiet space to just kind of check in how you're doing, to notice if you're holding your breath, as I do a lot during the day when we get busy. I think that it's important, and I think it's really important for you guys as students and at your age to learn these practices and to cultivate some sort of attitude of gratitude or mindfulness or all of the, like, whatever it is that will help you be a better version of yourself, because that's really what it's all about. Yeah. So I think, you just take it breath by breath.
Exactly.
I think that's a wonderful way to look at things.
I think that's a wonderful way to end the segment. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for the insight.
Thank you for that.
Today's going to be a very peaceful day. Today, I can tell.
Yeah, today, this is what I needed in the morning. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Of course.
Well, that was insightful.
I need a minute. I'm
Take those 5 deep breaths.
As Mr. Woodall would say, let's take our 5 deep breaths. We don't have enough time to do 5 deep breaths.
We don't.
We're a podcast.
We'll hope that you're doing 5 deep breaths as we speak.
I want to talk about that before we really get into the December topics.
Yeah.
I started doing meditation and mindfulness in middle school because it was a class that was offered at Otwell.
Oh, yeah, it was.
It was. And meditation genuinely helps. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm promoting something, but like even just like taking a deep breath before a test calms me down.
Yeah.
You know, like sometimes I'll be stressed and then I'll take a deep breath and I'll think, I'm like, take it one day at a time, one day at a time.
I think what she said was a lot of like, we're not even just talking about these 3 months going into January. Just like, I think as students, we're always like, we gotta go. Get next deadline. Okay. Next deadline's done. I gotta just keep running. And I don't think a lot of people like, they think they don't have the time, but it doesn't take time. It takes like 5 seconds to just stop for a second,
breathe in,
breathe out, and then just catch up. Just
remember that one day at a time. As my mom famously says, take it one day at a time.
As she says, take it one breath at a time.
Take it one breath at a time. You know, like I have friends. I struggle with like the things happening next week, next month, and I'm like, sometimes I just need to focus on what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And realize that today is today and tomorrow will be tomorrow.
Exactly. And I think that's a wonderful way of thinking.
And to shine a little spotlight on something she mentioned, the food donations in the cafeteria, they've been going on since our sophomore year, I think.
Yeah.
Donate.
It does not take that much more work to take the apple
and
just
put it in the bin.
Put it in the bin. And then instead of just throwing it away.
Yeah.
You could genuinely be like, somebody could not have enough money for food that day. And then they're just like, I want an apple. And then that's your apple.
It doesn't take any effort when you're walking out of the cafeteria with your food and you're like, I don't really like an apple. Put it in the bin and continue on.
Exactly.
Those donations mean a lot to people. And every donation counts. You know? Every donation counts. Every apple counts.
Yeah. You don't know how much impact your one small act of kindness could have on the world.
Yeah. Ripple effect.
Ripple
effect. Okay.
So.
Going into December's activities.
Rippling effect into December's activities.
Rippling effect into December's activities. I'm trying to keep up the high energy, but this is a positive episode.
So somber.
This is a mindfulness episode, I would say.
I know.
So going into December's activities, as we were talking about, the 3 Thriftaganza is happening at the beginning of December. It is open during usually power hours. And you go in, and usually it's one jacket. There's a lot of great stuff there, a lot of amazing coats. So if you're looking for a new coat, go check it out. You will find coats that are well-loved.
Yeah, it's like Poshmark, but for free and right here.
Very great thing to have. I know. Also leading into December, midterms.
Ugh.
Everyone's favorite thing, midterm season. Make sure that your grades are where you would like them to be before going into midterm season. That's the best piece of advice I could give you. Make sure that you're working on your grades all this month so that when you go into midterms, come on, Chris, I'm also there. We need to get these grades up. Try to get in all your missing tests and all your missing work. Retakes are also a thing. Go talk to your teachers and try to work out those grades. Your teachers are here to help.
Yeah, they definitely are. Yeah, no, they're there.
Do you have anything to add about midterms?
No, I don't like talking about midterms. Midterm week is...
But we need to talk about them. Mindful. Be mindful. Be grateful.
I'm living in today.
I'm living in today, but remember, your midterms are coming up. Make sure to start getting your grades up and start studying for them.
This is why I need a wellness minute, is for midterms. Anyways, also in December, we got holidays. I'm just going to call it holidays.
It is a big holiday thing. Look out for next month's episode.
We'll be talking about all of the holidays.
As many holidays as we can.
We'll fit them as many as we can in, line by line.
It's a big month for holiday season.
It is.
And we're not going to spoil it too much because it is still November and we still want to be thankful.
And we haven't filmed it yet.
Have a great
Bulldog Day. Ruff.
This episode was brought to you by Forsyth Central Studios. Show hosts Nikki Melendez and Chris Van Martyr. Show producer Jason Hanline. Special thanks to Karen Cole.